There's a company in California building what they've described as the most advanced micro house in the world. They're talking extraordinary energy efficiency, hurricane resistance, extreme snow load capacity, and more. On top of that, they deliver these homes all across the US, and apparently it can be set up in 60 minutes. If that isn't enough, they start at $35,000. So yeah, I have to see it. Let's go. It is not every day that I get a chance to see something listed as the most advanced micro home in the world, so I called a travel agent and punched my ticket to the Golden State. Well, I am in Los Gatos, California. The question you might be asking yourself is, what is a micro home? And to be honest, I don't know the exact definition, but what I do know is it's 120 square feet. It was built by a company called Haus Me, and it's located at a winery, which is great because I love grapes. The home is actually right over there, so let's go check it out. This is the Micro House by Haus Me, and what a cool look they've got here. It's not much like anything that I've ever seen before. This home is 19 feet long by 7.3 feet wide, and they've got a lot of features that I cannot wait to talk about. The first thing I want to touch on is the fact that it can be set up in 60 minutes. So you might notice that it isn't sitting on any kind of foundation. As far as site prep goes, it looks like they've put down a crushed gravel base, and then they've got landscape cloth on top of that. And it appears the home sits right on top of the landscape cloth. And then if we go to the back here, you can see that the services run into the end. They've got a bit of a control center back there. One of the things that makes this home really stand out is the look. And a big part of that is the windows on the sides. So if you notice, the windows run up the side and then they curve over onto the roof. And not only does it look cool from the outside, but it plays a big part when you're inside as well. So what I'd like to do before I go inside is walk all the way around this home, and I'm going to talk about some of the stuff that they've got going on, and then we will go inside and see what it's like to be inside a micro home. First things first, check out this setting. There's something to be said for a futuristic home sitting amongst massive trees like this one is. Now, as I approach from the back of the home, you'll notice a Murphy bed in that window right there. So if you've got any big important views, it's best to have it set up like they've got, with the main window looking out the front. Here's the entrance into the home. It's a sliding glass door that'll open that way, and the keypad to do that is right here. I'm going to get to that in just a second. Before I do, I want to hop down the retaining wall and have one more look at the front of this home. This home is currently set up as an Airbnb. So this is something that you could actually come and rent on a nightly basis if you wanted to try it out. I'll put the link to that in the description down below. Now, as far as the outside goes, what they've got on this is a proprietary polymer composite, and obviously, I'm not running any kind of Whistling Diesel style durability test because I would end up in jail. However, it does feel quite solid. So I'm gonna go up to the front and we're gonna go inside this home. 120 square feet. What does that even feel like? I have no idea. I did already get a tour, so I kind of know, but I'm trying to build suspense. Let's go inside. So this is a bug net right here, and I hit the code. I hit the number. Thought I had the wrong number there for a second. Look at this, we're going in. All right then, first look inside the micro house. So, yes, I have had a quick tour from the proprietor. She brought me through here and generally pointed out a few different things, but I haven't tried anything for myself. With that, there are a couple different approaches I could take to this video. Number one, I could turn the camera off and learn exactly how everything in the home works. And then I could turn the camera back on and everyone would be amazed at how quickly and effortlessly I flow around the home, changing this from daytime setup to nighttime setup, closing blinds, dimming lights, and on and on and on. Or I could leave the camera rolling and I could just raw dog this thing, and you can kind of watch me fumble through for the very first time as I try and figure out how everything works. I think the second option would be more fun, honestly, so yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Where I would like to start is to try and take this from the daytime setup to the nighttime setup. So let's do that. Now, caution, Murphy bed. Prior to using the table and chairs, ensure that the trigger is set to the lock position. Only place the bed down when the table and chairs are in a flat position. Okay, so it's set to lock. We're going to go to unlock. What is the flat position? And then I'm just going to pull this down. That's lowering. Okay. It's going to hit the tripod. Nope, we might be clear. Okay, so far, so good. We've gone from day to night with the bed, but if it's going to be nighttime, these are big windows and people likely don't want people looking inside at what they're doing. So she did say that this comes out. Okay. So that comes out like that on that side. Maybe I should have done this side. Oh, this one's already over. Okay. And then I think I need to come over here to, that's set to lights. No. Okay, I need to scroll it. Shelves, climate, shutters. Okay, so I was dicking with the lights button when I should have been scrolling. So I can lower that with that, and I'll overlay with some B-roll here so you can see exactly what I'm seeing. So that shuts that side. I'm guessing this shuts that side. Pretty easy so far. The bedding is actually right there in that kind of cubby right there. She pointed that out to me. Now, what do we have over here? This says snacks, and sure enough, it's full of snacks. I like that. Again, keep in mind this is set up as an Airbnb. This is where she's got wine glasses and plates. Now, this is something really cool actually. So everything that you see in this home comes right from Haus Me, including the wine glasses, including the plates, and I'm guessing this is cutlery. No, this is a cutting board. So where is the cutlery then? There's a drawer under the sink that has a bottle of water. Then garbage there. There's a mini fridge down here that I've pulled right off the shelf. Cutlery, cutlery, cutlery. Where is the cutlery? What do we have? Where is it? Did I miss it? Maybe the cutlery. Oh, here it is. It's in with the snacks. Duh. All right, I'm going to put that back, and I'm going to switch the camera angle so that you can get a better look at this kitchen. And actually, I'm going to flip this back up because I think it's just going to be better for viewing and moving around if I have it set up for daytime use. Lock. There we go. And we are going to lock. All right, this is the kitchen. Get your Thanksgiving turkeys ready. So we've got a fairly sizable sink here, but not a lot of counter space. There's 2 faucets, and it says, caution, hot water, risk of scalding, preset water temperature before using the touchless faucet. I think I will not do that. So it must have been preset to lukewarm because it isn't scalding. So that's a lucky break for me. Beside it, this looks like it would be drinking water, but I'm not sure. It's probably all laid out in the Airbnb guide, which I don't have. Above, microwave. Self-explanatory. I know how to use a microwave. You probably know how to use a microwave. Not going to spend a lot of time on it. Coffee maker, Nespresso. Don't want to waste a pod. Not going to deal with it. This is making noise up here. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to turn it off. And I saw something as I was scrolling the menu. Past shutters was ventilation. Hit the fan. That'll shut that off. Now below the sink, as I already mentioned, they got the fridge, they got the garbage, and then a bit of storage right under the sink. Again, I'll overlay that. Okay, right here, there is a little bullseye with a finger tap. I guess you'd call it, not an emoji. It's an outline of a hand, so I'm going to push it, and it turns on a light. So, okay, it's like you can touch it with the back of your hand, you can touch it with your finger and turn off the light. So if you had water on your hands, you could just kind of boom, boom. that's enough in the kitchen. There's not a lot to talk about. Let's move back down to the bathroom. One of the things that the owner mentioned when I got my tour was that the fan just turned on. I didn't turn the fan on. So I guess as you make your way down towards the bathroom, the fan automatically turns on. I don't know where the sensor would be, but the fan turned on. So as I was saying, one of the things that the owners mentioned to me was with this curved window, it looks cool when you're laying in the bed, probably better on that side because you look up right to the tops of the trees, which is pretty cool. You know, it's not very often that you have a window that goes up onto the ceiling, and kind of unique thing looking at the trees. Starry night. I'm rambling now. Let's go into the bathroom. Actually, no, before we do that, this is where the bedding is right here. And I know that because she told me, and also it's labeled. So towels, this goes all the way through. Oh, and look at this. They've got lights on the inside so that if you open that at night, you would be able to see what you're grabbing for. Haven't opened this one. So hair dryer in there. Need to push that a little harder. We've got a sheet in that one. And again, when I open these drawers, they are lit from the top so you can see what's in them. That's kind of cool. And then down here, there is a open storage there, and they've got it filled with S. Pellegrino water. Don't mind if I do. Now, in the bathroom, this is what you would call a wet room. Now, the door closes like so. And then when you shower in here, the shower head is on the ceiling, and it's expected that this entire room is going to get wet. If I pull that, the water is going to come out, and I don't want to go change my clothes, so I'm not going to do that right now. I'm looking at the toilet right there, and then behind the toilet is a mirror, and they've got a sink with 2 drawers on the side. So you kind of stand here and you can shave or brush your teeth, and the whole wall is a mirror, which is kind of cool. Yeah, it's pretty functional actually. It's also an automatic sink there. They've got the 2 different water level flush. They got the big one for the sit-down program, and the little one if you're just taking a thick. I've got off track here. Now, before I end the tour, I want to talk about the living room because I kind of skipped over it and just flipped the bed down. So let's do that. For me, the living room is the best space in the house, and it's not close. They've got this window on the side that's absolutely massive. You're looking out at a very cool view. There's a reservoir down there. You've got all the trees, and I do really like how the window curves up onto the roof. It's not something you see every day. This was my first time in a 120 square foot micro home, and to be honest, I didn't really know what to expect. I'm not a small human. I'm 6'2", I'm almost 200 pounds, but it's bigger than I expected. When you think 120 square feet, my first thought was small. They've got micro in the name, right? So I was pleasantly surprised at how much space is actually in here and what they've done with it. So when I opened those drawers over there, that's where you could hang clothes. Again, this one's set up as an Airbnb, so they've got bedding in there, but they've got somewhere to hang up shirts. They've got somewhere to put your ginge, and you can tell a lot of thought went into this design. So for the living room, they've got the table, they've got chairs on either side, they've got the TV behind me, which is pretty self-explanatory. But for me, this view is what it's all about. Next, I'm going to do a full continuous walkthrough so people can get a better sense of the layout. Let's take a walkthrough of the Micro Haus. So I'm going to put my code in here. You know what? Maybe look at the tree while I do that, because I don't know if they want potentially hundreds of people knowing the code to this house. As you enter, the first space you get to is the kitchen. Fridge down below. This is the garbage. Got a sink there. Microwave, coffee maker, a little bit of shelf space here for whatever you want to do with that. They got that space underneath, and then, as I mentioned, cutting board, snack drawer, more storage. Now over here, this is where I was controlling everything. So shutters, takes those down. Let's send them back up, and then look at that view. These windows on the side are my favorite part of the entire home. It just makes it feel like you're outside, but you're inside. It's very cool. So seats on either side of the table. Again, that's the Murphy bed that folds down. Now here, this is what I was talking about. So because this is set up as an Airbnb, they've got towels, they've got bedding, but this is a place where you could put shirts right there, you know, socks, ginch, pants, I don't know, whatever you got. Down below, a couple more shelves, and then the big open storage at the bottom. Now into the wet bath, you've got the shower on top, light in the fan. They've got the ring light in this full-length mirror right here, which makes you look pretty. The sink there with some storage, and again, the toilet right there. So heading back out, I want to show you the button that opens the door, and then we're going to sit down and talk about the pricing. You hit this, and away we go. Pretty cool, right? Haus Me is on a mission to redefine the way people think of buying a new home, and there are currently 3 versions of the Micro Haus: the Micro Haus Base, the Micro Haus Lite, and the Micro Haus Pro. The Micro Haus in this video is the Micro Haus Pro, the most decked out version of them all. Where do I even begin with this thing? I guess for starters, I could mention the fact that it has a seismic and Cat 5 hurricane compliant design. In fact, one of their Micro Houses was put to the test in Orlando with a Cat 3 storm that had 120 mile/hour winds with gusts up to 150 miles per hour. Another thing I really like about what they're offering is the simplicity. The Micro Haus can be operational 60 minutes after delivery. It doesn't require a foundation, and it comes finished with everything down to the cutlery so people can start using it as soon as it arrives. Before I wrap this thing up, I am going to get into their pricing. Keep in mind, prices can and usually do change, but will be accurate at the time of posting this video. The Micro Haus Base starts at $35,000. The Micro Haus Lite starts at $59,990. And the Micro Haus Pro that I saw starts at $89,990. Those prices do not include tax or delivery. That's all I've got for today. However, if you're looking for something bigger, I am currently sitting in their M1 model that's 400 square feet. And just to make sure you hit the subscribe button, I'm gonna give you a bit of a sneak peek. This is the kitchen in the M1. Now, the home is full of all sorts of smart features. However, my favorite feature might be this coffee maker right here. Just finished brewing my 3rd cup, so I think the video is gonna be electric. Probably be up in a week or so. We'll see you then.